Streets completely submerged here in Ridgeville. I'm Matt Alban. Coming up next, how one local church has caskets coming up out of the ground.
We may not be able to be back when they get ready if it gets worse, is the reason we urging people to leave now.
Rescue and recovery in the wake of devastating floods, the heroes lending a hand, and why the danger isn't over yet.
And we're finally getting a little bit of good news in the form of a much drier forecast. I'll have all the details ahead.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Brendan Clark.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Carolyn Murray. We are continuing our breaking weather alert coverage tonight as you take a look at what's happening around the area. We have the latest information on a dam break in Columbia.
Yes, while some saying it's a dam break, others are saying it's actually a controlled release. But as you can see, this is a raging river right now. There is a mandatory evacuation for many residents who live in that area, the Forest Acres area of Columbia. Everyone being urged to leave. Emergency management reports a total of 8 dams breached across the state. We hope to have a live report from Columbia coming up in the next half hour. And many roads around the Lowcountry still closed tonight.
Governor Haley speaking this morning, saying at least 9 people have died in our state, that 5 people drowned in floodwaters and 4 people in traffic accidents. The governor stressed to us here in South Carolina that we should not relax because rain isn't falling right now.
This is not over. Just because the rain stops does not mean that we are out of the woods. We very much still have a vulnerable situation that's out there. I'm still going to ask citizens to please stay inside.
Schools in our viewing area will be closed again tomorrow, including Charleston, Berkeley, Dorchester Districts 2 and 4, Georgetown, as well as Williamsburg counties. The only county we're still looking to hear from right now is Colleton County.
We are continuing our team coverage tonight with reporters across the state covering this breaking weather alert for you. But we begin with the dam failure. Some say it's a dam failure. Some say this was a controlled release. We showed you this earlier in Columbia. We are told that a total of 7 dams have failed, and there is a mandatory evacuation in some parts of Columbia. Today, News 2's Rebecca Collette was at the dam in Monk's Corner, where people in that area saw water levels increasing at alarming rates, and she got some answers from Santee Cooper.
Good evening, guys. I've checked with our local officials at Santee Cooper. They say the dams and the dikes are working properly. They say they're practicing something called spilling. I want to show you over my shoulder what we're talking about. Spilling is when they dump water from the lakes into rivers. Right now, what you're looking at is 375,000 gallons of water per second going into the Santee River. The process helps keep water levels in Lake Marion and Lake Moultrie manageable so there aren't leaks and breaks at the dam.
We do that so that we can maintain appropriate levels at the lakes so that we can certainly ensure the integrity of the dams and dikes.
This water is going into the Santee River, and folks there should expect to see their levels increase. As for folks who live along the Tailrace Canal, Santee Cooper is required to filter water through the river to keep the saltwater in balance, and that has continued. So there is water coming out of the lake into the river, but it always happens. So a majority of the extra water you're seeing along the Tailrace is from rain and runoff.
Part of our contract with the Corps of Engineers, we are required to discharge an average of 4,500 cubic feet per second into the Tailrace Canal, which we are doing. We are not exceeding that.
We're going to expect extra water coming from the watersheds up in the Midlands area, making its way down here. They said they're going to continue to watch and continue practicing this spilling indefinitely. Right outside of Eddytown in Berkeley County, I'm Rebecca Collette, News 2.
All right, thank you, Rebecca.
We now want to hear from News 2's Macy McLeod. She was there as more than 50 people were rescued from homes which were flooded in Somerville today.
I'm out here in Ashboro neighborhood in Somerville, where you can see the neighborhood is completely flooded. Rescue crews are going door to door to see if anyone needs help moving to dry land.
We're saving people. Some of them are true rescues. Some of them are just people that can't get out of their house that's flooded their cars, and the water's rising, and it's rose probably a foot since we've been in this one location, and so they're just ready to leave.
Residents packed up their kids, their pets, and a few other necessities before heading out into the waterway that used to be Mayfield Street.
We wanted to get the kids and the dogs out. We can't take the dogs out to go to the bathroom right now, which is highly important, so we had to make that decision to take them.
We've been watching the level rise all day yesterday, and then I woke up first thing this morning and it was even higher. So we just made the decision to go ahead and leave just in case the power were to go out. We still have power right now, but if power went out, then we'd be up a creek.
Evacuation for this neighborhood is optional, so some people chose to stay. The Old Fort Fire Department says they are urging people to leave now before the situation gets worse.
It's just better if they come out now. We can get to them easy right now, and it's safely. If we have to come back and it's a foot or 2 foot higher, and the current's running through here fairly rapidly, and even for these trained, rescuers, it's difficult for them to walk these boats back there. And like I said, it's just easier for them to get out now.
The majority of people have friends or family in the area to stay with. Those who don't are brought to one of the flood shelters. Macy McLeod, News 2.
And the majority of the rescuers that you saw in that video are from here to help from Tennessee.
Yeah, Macy will have more on them coming up tonight right here on News 2 at 6 o'clock. Raging floodwaters over the last few days has damaged roads and bridges and houses and other property. We join News 2's Matt Alba, who is live in Ridgeville with the very latest. Matt, what are you seeing there?
Hey, good evening, Carolyn. Well, what I'm seeing is a completely submerged Canaan Road, a completely submerged parking lot. This used to be actually a cemetery, the Canaan Cemetery, Canaan United Methodist Church, and now I'm walking out right now as two gentlemen actually say they're going to be heading into the floodwaters because there are caskets that have come up out of the ground. These guys say they're going in, and you guys are going in to get them? Why are you going in to get them?
Somebody's family out there. So, we got to show respect. This is respect. We got to respect the dead. But that's family suffering. Here's their family out there popped up out of the ground. I think it's the human thing to do.
So you're headed out right now?
Right this second.
All right, well, be careful. Now, Roosevelt, this is Roosevelt Geddes. Roosevelt, you're you used to be the pastor here at this church.
No,
what do you think of this?
I never have been the pastor here, but my membership is here.
Okay.
And it's not safe for him to go out there because that road is deep, and if we can't save him if he goes out there.
Now, you're seeing right now just a citizen who says this is disrespectful. He's heading out to get, these are 2 caskets that came up out of the ground. Sir, are you going in? You're seeing right now, this is pretty unbelievable. He said it right before we went on air. He said he was a pastor. We're not sure what church. I don't know how he's planning on getting these caskets out of the water. Sir, are you going to go out? Right now, all these people are saying this is not safe. Why is this not safe, Roosevelt?
Because anything can happen to a person when they take a chance to go out there without a boat.
So, yeah, right now there were police out here a little while ago. There were authorities who actually went and got a tractor that was stuck over there. The casket he's walking to was over here yesterday. It was closer to Highway 61. But right now, he's headed over there, and I don't know if he's planning on dragging that back to this side of the road, but he seems to be about up to his waist in the water. There are 2 vaults over there, 2 caskets. And Roosevelt, you said, was this a husband and wife?
Yes, it is.
And they belong to this church?
Both.
And now, where were they originally buried?
They were originally buried behind that big tree further back over.
So to the right of where he is?
Right.
All right, you're seeing right now live, there's a guy who just walked through the floodwaters about 150, 200 yards. He just got to one of the caskets. He's dragging it out.
Matt, can you give us an idea of what this gentleman you described? You said that he identified himself as a pastor. What is he walking across? Is this a roadway or is this the cemetery?
Yeah, it's a roadway. You know, the cemetery is to the right of where he is, and he's pushing the casket out right now. This is Canaan Road, and Canaan Road goes back over to a family over there. Now, police are arriving. Jason, if you can pan, police are arriving. This guy is literally pushing one of the caskets towards Highway 61.
This is
flowers on top of the casket.
It's amazing what we're watching here, Matt. The police are they anxious to get out and
police are arriving.
What are they doing right now? They're watching, they're seeing what this man is doing.
Yeah, there's probably about 20 people here, all videotaping, and a police officer.
Matt, give us an idea of the conversation
He's a Dorchester
that you
County
had
Sheriff's
with
deputy.
this gentleman before this. You said that he walked up and he actually told you that he was going to do this. He doesn't know anything about these caskets that have washed up as a result of the flooding, but he said that he was just determined to go out and bring them back to a safe area out of respect for the families.
Yeah, we were standing here and I was getting ready to do this interview with a couple people who go to this church, and this guy pulled up in a Ford F-150 truck, and you know, he threw on some boots and he was trying to recruit another person to go out with him, and everyone's saying, you know, this water could be contaminated. DHEC, as far as we know, has not been here. He said, I'm going out there. This is unbelievable.
Certainly this is a very dangerous situation. We know that roads have collapsed and that no one is advising anyone to do anything like this, that you leave the rescues and to those who are in authority.
Exactly.
But certainly a very compelling thing to see that this person has gone out to try to bring these caskets back to shore.
How far away is he from?
Yeah, I'm going to go over here. Sir, can you tell us, I mean, are you going to try to get him out? Now, a Dorchester County Sheriff's deputy just arrived, and he said he's not allowed to talk to us, but this is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this.
How far is he from land here?
He's got one
Matt?
of the caskets.
Matt, how far is he from land here?
He's probably about 50 yards. He's probably about 50 yards away from us right now, and he's walking across Canaan Road with one of the caskets that has been floating up.
And from your eyesight, this is one of two caskets?
Not sure what he plans on doing with it right now.
This is one of two caskets that are floating in the area?
That's right. There's another casket to the right of where he just went, and you know, he said, you know, these caskets can't be staying floating around anymore. He said, I'm going to get one of them.
Matt, the people who are standing there with you, just all onlookers, are they members of this church?
Yeah, a lot of them are members of the church, and you know, they're the ones who introduced me. So, sir, now what? It's stuck on the road. It's concrete. He's stuck it on. So, sir, what are you planning on doing now?
We're going to call the funeral home and get them to come get them.
I just called them. I can't get them. I left them a message.
Coming?
You're calling the family members, ma'am?
Yes.
Do you know who they are? I mean, who's...
Aiken Capers Funeral Home.
Say that again?
Aiken Capers Funeral Home.
So the funeral home is being called?
I don't know yet. They hadn't called me back. I got the voicemail.
The funeral home is being called.
Back.
Yeah, people here say that they're going to...
Matt, is there any
This gentleman says
indication
he's
that
gonna be
law
calling
enforcement
dispatch.
is going to step in at this time?
Deep that way.
I just walked up to the Dorchester County Sheriff's deputy, and he kind of just waved me away.
What's he doing right now?
I think he's on the phone right now with, obviously, his higher-ups. He went back into his car.
If you bring back this way, the ditch right there. That's what I'm saying.
So they're all going to try, and he's trying to recruit these people to pull this casket onto dry land. Is that correct, what we're hearing right now, Matt?
So more people right here. Yeah, a couple of men, including Rose, who is a member of the church. You know, they're walking into the water, and they're going to try to push it out of the water.
We are looking at an amazing scene right now. We have seen the pictures through social media of caskets that have come up as a result of the flooding. And News 2's Matt Alba on the scene right now as a man who identifies himself as a pastor walked up, went straight through that flood water and got those caskets, at least one casket, and has pushed it ashore. He says that families deserve this respect, and he wants to make sure that there is certainly a proper burial, reburial of that casket.
We're kind of still in shock about what we saw here, though, but Matt Alba was saying that there is a police officer there on scene. We'll let you know. We'll keep you updated on what exactly happens in the next couple of minutes.
Stay with us. We are coming right back with more right after this break.